Hello there, listeners. Welcome back. We have another episode of Starrcast Podcast where we dive into all things wellness. And this week, we are taking a trip up in the air and coming down in the middle of Switzerland. On the shores of beautiful Lake Lucerne is a very famous retreat called Chenot. We are joined today by Dr. George Gaitanos, who is the Chief Scientific Officer of Chenot. And we're going to dive into what is the Chenot Method and what happens in this beautiful palace on the side of a lake, which is, by the way, one of 5 locations of Chenot globally. Dr. Gaitanos, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure, Lisa, and nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. I was fortunate enough to visit Chenot in person. I guess it was last summer. Unbelievable setting. And those of you watching will see the picture behind George is the lake on which the facility sits. Beautiful. It
Yeah.
is really at the intersection of longevity, medical wellness, performance physiology, and both Eastern and Western medicine integration. They're doing amazing things there. The Chenot Method has been going, as I said, 50 years, but the current stewards are people running the company now, including Dr. Gaitano. So we're so happy that you're going to explain what happens at Chenot to us. But first, I would like you to tell the listeners a little bit about your journey in wellness. How did you come to be in this position that you're
Yeah.
in today?
Yeah. So, as you know, my background academically is from sports rehabilitation, physiology, exercise physiology, muscle metabolism, where's my doctorate and postdoctorate work. I publish some papers. Then I decided to leave academia and leave the university and go to the industry, and I apply what I really know. So I was fortunate enough to meet with elite athletes over time in the 90s. And it gave me the opportunity to work with world champions, Olympians, NBA. I have participated in 2 Olympic Games,
Too.
Atlanta and Australia. Then in the year 2000, after the Australian Games, I was very exhausted with this work. Athletes are demanding a lot, but you learn a lot at the same time because they're normal people, they're very high performance. And of course, you understand in this league of people where there's a lot of sponsorship, advertising, they want to extend the so-called longevity, the career. So the term longevity was first introduced to me during this experience. How do you keep them at a very high level of performance? Anyway, by the end of 2000, I switched my business into addressing what I was doing to normal people, so family offices. A few of them every year I was working with for 13 years. So I did this job from 2000 to 2013. Basically doing exactly the same thing, just changing the people I was working with.
You weren't quite so demanding as the athletes.
Well, still demanding, a lot of stress. The problem is that everybody's focusing on performance nowadays in modern life, athletes, entrepreneurs, businessmen, but we know we build health on recovery, not on performance. Performance is exhausting us. We will discuss this maybe later. We have the opportunity. And then in the year 2013, I joined the Chenot company. Now I'm 13, 14 years in the company in Chenot. I mean, as you understand, all this period from beginning of the 90s up to now, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Trying in a way to create health as opposed to treat disease. Because for many, many decades, we have been asking the wrong question. So how do we treat disease? I think we should be asking how we create health, because we've done the opposite in our bodies. The way we live, we wait, then we react, we fix things only where they fail. So I want to introduce a shift from managing disease to creating health, because everybody talks about longevity. What is longevity? Longevity is our vision for the future, is impact, how we live our lives, what we build and what we leave behind. So in that sense, longevity should not be measured in years, It should be measured in terms of function, resilience, and ability to adapt to life as we age. And I think this is key because it changes. So, in that sense, health is no longer the absence of disease. It's not something that you monitor, repair, and react to. It's something that you build proactively, intentionally, continuously, trying to increase your functionality, your resilience, and adaptive capacity as you age. So I think we need a change in thinking. And so I propose this shift. This is what I do. And this is how all the method and everything we do is based on. So, because at the end of the day, you want to live younger, you want to be living better, you want to have more intention, purpose. So aging is not a fixed destiny. If you, I may say, it's a dynamic process which you can guide, slow, and improve. So, health is I don't know how to say. Health is not a state; it's a skill, which is something you can train over time. And we know today that science shows that many aspects of aging are modifiable. Metabolism, immune system, inflammation levels, energy production. So everything is trainable, just like strength, mindset, and resilience. And because, my background is on exercise, you know, I visualize health as a big muscle where you can actually, is a
Mm.
dynamic condition where you can actually train. So there are times you have your ups, you have your downs, and it's a daily practice, it's not a medical moment.
Great way to describe it, Dr. Gaitanos. I love how you said that you think of your body as a big muscle. And, we're given this equipment when we're born, we have our body, but we tend to think it does things on its own. I think people don't realize the connection between what they eat and what they do and how they care for the equipment that they are given.
Yeah, and I think in that direction, I think also wellness, because we talk about wellness. I mean, health is your well-being, it's wellness, and wellness is a word, I'm in this industry, but it's often misunderstood. Wellness is not a massage, it's not a green juice,
Mhm.
it's not a
Mhm.
moment of relaxation. In its true scientific sense, which I think is your capacity to self-regulate and repair. So nutrition, information you give to your cells, movement, stimulus that keeps all our system efficient, sleep, our regenerative system, mental balance, stabilizing, neuroendocrine system, emotional regulation, environment, the light, the air, the toxins, the air we breathe, the design of the cities, of the places. Now we talk about neuroaesthetics, and this extends to music, art,
Mhm.
design. So when biology is the daily training of our mechanisms that determine how well we age. And I think this is very, very important. So,
So we know that the Chenot Method was founded 50 years ago by Henri Chenot. Have you adapted it over time to what he put in place?
yeah, I think from the outset, the approach has always been centered on detoxification.
Mhm.
So, long before it became a wellness trend, Arishan understood that health is a process of removal as much as it is of restoration, because we know that what ages is the accumulation of damage. This is very well documented, and we know that the body cannot really thrive if it is constantly burdened. And so being proactive and starting through prevention has to be started at very, very early. So we're exposed to a lot of stressors. So I want you to imagine, just for our audience, every single cell of your body
Mm.
is the artery here, that it is clean and is full of energy. But then as time goes by, it becomes rusty and is
Mm.
losing some of its energy. So what we do as a company is we're trying to clean the rust, and allow a little bit energy to come inside. This
So
is
you're
what
polishing up the equipment.
exactly. This is what we call detox. And of course, we have programs lasting for certain days. 1 week is minimum. I will explain why. They are very intense programs. So think of Chenot at the moment as we are as a pit stop in your life where you come to do the maintenance work, like you take your car to the
Mhm.
garage and then you
Right.
drive. So at the moment we are very much into intense programs. Eventually now we're trying to evolve the company into continuity. I think in the
Mhm.
future we will see Chenot hubs in all major cities. So
Fun.
how do we do this? Well, we're using controlled stress. We give to the body controlled stress. The body activates its natural defenses. I will not go into science, but briefly speaking, we downregulate a metabolic pathway which is called the mammalian target of rapamycin. We activate the expression of certain genes which are called sirtuins, and also the adenosine monophosphate kinase pathway for those who are interested in the science. And we do this with calorie restrictions. So we're using a fast mimicking diet. Our diet is being published now in the Medical Journal of Clinical Nutrition. We did a study
Mhm.
with the Medical School of Nottingham. We induce temperature, fever, if you like, if I can use the word. We increase the temperatures in the body. So with
You
the
heat up the body through your methods.
body, which these are the main defenses of your body. Yeah, I mean, when we have a viral infection, for example, the body reacts with fever and with sickness-induced anorexia. You're not hungry, so we're doing exactly the same thing. But this
Mhm.
is very stressful for the body. And so Mr. Chenot at the time, now we do a little bit more advanced, introduced traditional Chinese medicine to restore balance in the body,
Mhm.
if you like, stimulate the vagus nerve,
Mhm.
uh, and this brings recovery into the system that regulates sympathetic activity. And this is the time when your battery gets charged.
All right, that's a great description, and it fits
Yeah.
in with what I think Chenot is known for, which is that this is a place for people who want to perform better, increase vitality, age
Yes,
more slowly.
yes.
It's really a performance-based
Yeah.
program. It's not
We
just
are
that you
we
go
are
there.
we are we are focusing primarily, give this stimulus to the body, and this allows recovery. Recovery is not
Mhm.
synonymous with relaxation.
Right.
You
Good.
are actually doing things with targeted treatments. Also, our famous massages are based on physical body, also on energetic body, based on traditional Chinese medicine. And there is a method in the way we do this. So that means there are protocols which respect the individuality, the person. So you have your initial consultations to understand who is the person and how you will plan to respect circadian rhythmicity, for example, when you will do the treatment. So it's not only doing the treatment, but also when it works for you. And also doing all these screenings, we call them the Chenot lifestyle biomarkers. We want at the end to take the whole picture of you and communicate to you, to inspire you, to engage you, to create new rituals, habits that will help you to increase your vitality. So it's all about empowering individuals to take charge of their well-being. So in that way, wellness, as we said before, is not a luxury, it's a responsibility to ourselves and to those who depend on us. And I think that is very, very important. We all understand.
Set the stage for listeners about where Chenot can be found before we dive deeper. You are in the flagship location on the shores of Lake Lucerne, gorgeous, but you
Yes.
have 4 other locations?
So we have three different products. We have what we call Chenot Palaces. So Palaces is a Chenot destination. You come for the program, and the room becomes your amenity. So it's the other way
Mhm,
around. But we see things. Everything is medically supervised. Um, and I describe Chenot Palaces as if I can use the term clinic or the place or facility for healthy people.
mhm,
Like we're not, as I said to you, we're not treating diseases here.
mhm, right.
We're treating aging in a way, if I may say so. So the palaces are the flagship properties. The Chenot International is based in Switzerland and is actually adjacent to Chenot Palace Vegas. So my office, where I'm now, is exactly Chenot Palace Vegas, exactly next to me. We're in the same
Mhm,
sort of structure. We also have another one in Azerbaijan. This was built in 2016. It is aiming for people coming from the East, Middle East, and Russia, and is primarily people who cannot get access to Europe.
Mm.
So we have two flagship properties,
Mm-hmm.
Chenot Palace Vegas and Chenot Gabala in Azerbaijan. So the second product is what we call Chenot Spaces. So Chenot Spaces, we license hotel operators to get this medical setup, you know, a little bit not to the same big thing we do here. It's a bit
Mm-hmm.
downscaled because it requires big investments. But we license hotel operators that share the same vision with us. So there is more flexibility. For example, you can go with your partner, with your family. One of you can do a program, shorter program. You can do a la carte treatments. It gives you more flexibility. You know, a lot of hotels now
Mm.
they're trying to do this kind of model. We have two places like this, one in Erbusco in Italy, outside Milano, and the other one in Montenegro with
Mm-hmm.
one only. And we have one spa in Morocco, Shalom Marrakesh, which doesn't have a medical, it's not a medical destination, but it's a beautiful, beautiful spa where you can do a lot of treatments, Chenot treatments, the massages, hydrotherapy, relax, recover, take some time off.
How many rooms are at Vegas?
At Vegas, we have is a big facility. We have 95 rooms. So we are able in Vegas to deliver 100 treatments per hour. Means that the maximum number of people the facility can accommodate for is 100.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the criteria of occupancy because you can have people coming as couples. So in the 100 rooms of Vegas, you can have 50% occupancy. People can come as singles. You can have 100% occupancy. So the criteria is
Mm-hmm.
how many programs. So the limit of programs we can take is 100 at a time. People stay for 1 week. The reason is that we have shown in the study that the diet needs 5 to 6 days to have the effect. Ideally, one is to stay a little bit longer than 7 days. So this is the
Like
minimum.
10 days, maybe?
Yeah, 9 days. We've shown that 9 days is a very good number because
Mm-hmm.
once you reach the activation of all these kind of changes in the body, you need to keep it up there for a few more days, and this gives you a longer lasting effect over time. And I think the benefit on 9 days, I always do the program on 9 myself if I do, but you know how busy people are.
Mm.
They never have time.
But at
So
least 7 days.
7 days the minimum because our data showed, published, it shows that it needs 5 to 6 days to get the effect.
Perfect. Now, there are 5 pillars to the Chenot method, and I was hoping you could walk us through the pillars. Pillar 1 being advanced diagnostics.
Yes.
So
So we have a
this is
lot.
what happens when the guest arrives, I guess?
When the guest arrives, we get the first medical consultation. The purpose of this consultation is the following. First, to understand the individual. What are the needs of the individual? You might be clinically perfect, so you can get all the results perfect, but you can say, for example, I feel tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm saying that health is not necessarily clinical, you know. So
You mean your blood rate and everything can look
I get
good, but
fully
you're still
healthy.
tired.
Yeah. So you clinically you can be healthy, but you are running low on energy. I have a lot of chronic stress, and all your markers show that. So we need to understand who is the individual. We need to understand how they sleep, how they eat, their physical activity, how they perform, how they understand, and how they feel. I think that's important. So that's
Mm-hmm.
number criteria. You gain a lot of information. Ideally, for me, you don't need to do screenings in terms of metrics and numbers because we're humans, you know, we're not defined by data. We're not defined by statistical analysis and report cards. We are defined by the way we live and the way we feel. And I think that is very important. So this medical consultation is focusing in this kind of direction. And at the same time, you need to understand what is safe and what is not safe. So you need to modify the diet, you need to modify the treatments based on every single individual. So this is how you personalize. Then, and also you discuss your program, you discuss how you will plan it, and also what extra treatments you can do, because here is a playground of technology, from altitude rooms to anti-gravity technology, to breathing low concentrations of oxygen, red light therapy, infrared light therapy, a lot of aesthetic and medical aesthetic treatments, IVs. So all this needs to become in your program, whether you need this and what you're trying to achieve. So this is a discussion between the client, the guest, and the doctor, because you need to retrain the systems,
Mm-hmm.
and your metabolism, how you can reduce the inflammation. And then you do all these extensive screenings with digital infrared cameras. You are looking
Mm-hmm.
for arterial stiffness, collagen, HRV, physiological stress in the body, heavy metals. You can do full exam on blood, anything you can imagine, from hormones to different kind of biomarkers. We have in-house a molecular lab, so you can look for silent inflammation. We're fantastic markers for senescent cells. We're looking for systemic chronic inflammation. So there's a lot of things, because at the end, you need to put all the information together and inform the client. We're not focused on data-driven longevity and all these kind of things. We are more, health is more data-informed. So
And is this the vitality index? Is that's where you
this
put
is
all
the
of that
vitality
together?
index. Yes, this is what we call. So together, all this tells us information about your vitality, energy, because you need energy to live life. And I think that is
Mm-hmm.
very, very important.
How does the vitality index work? Like, is it a scale of 1 to 100? Like, what's the range?
Is on real data. We're using AI as well. So is real data. And of course, the important thing is not to compare you against others, is to
Mm-hmm.
compare against yourself.
Sure.
So, and this you can do very well with repeaters. So once you are having, the client coming, a lot of clients coming every 6 months, every year, once a year, then the way we communicate is we take the previous numbers, we put them together with the new numbers, and you can understand progress both ways, up or down. And I
Can you
think,
see progress in your first visit? Might you see it from day 1 to day 9 if you stayed for 9 days? Might you see your vitality index go up?
no.
No, it's more long term.
He never tested this. I mean, HRV, when we do heart rate variability measures,
Mm-hmm.
obviously will show us difference. Certain biomarkers in blood, because you're eating a diet which is 850 calories. I
Mm.
think change in 1 week we have measured. So in the study we have measured that things that happen is during this 1 week we reduce arterial stiffness, we reduce insulin growth factor 1, which is a big player in aging you faster. We activate anti-aging genes in 1 week. We reduce visceral fat and subcutaneous fat, and we activate the mechanism of autophagy, the cleaning of the battery. So
Mhm.
this has been shown and published in the
Wonderful.
Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It's not like something we don't do.
So pillar 1, you have the advanced diagnostics. Pillar 2,
Is a diet,
traditional
the Chenot diet.
Chinese medicine.
Number two is the diet. I mean,
Okay.
depends how you want to put it. For me, the order is not important, but the diet plays a very big role. So what we do here is we give to everybody 850 calories. There's a lot of work done in it's a fast mimicking diet. So it has no protein inside, less than 10%. 45% of the calories come from whole carbs, 45% comes from good fats. This is delivered every single day with 3 meals. So breakfast,
Mhm.
lunch, dinner, 850 calories. And this diet has the effects I just described before. We just following nutritional consultation, we can personalize, the diet because you might have intolerances, you might have sensitivities, you might have allergies. So we modify the diet. You have two menus to choose from, or we create a new one for you in case you have all these kind of.
The menu's different in some kind of way they're put together, or is it just to give
It's
choice?
different in sense if you have certain sensitivities or allergies or certain nutrients that they don't work for you. Or we modify the food we give you.
Let's talk about the cooking methods, Dr. Gaitanos, because
Yeah.
I know that was something in your booklet that's described about the importance of humidity and temperature in
Yeah.
preparing the
So we're
food for
using very low
nutrition.
temperatures. We are respecting the ingredients. We outsource the best we can. And here in Switzerland, we can find really good ingredients. We cook at low temperatures, no frying, not plate, not high. We try to be below 64 degrees centigrade in everything that
Mhm.
we do. We do not caramelize the food. That's important. In our diet, there is no coffee. So you get this first day or two this kind of headache. In some other places, I know they prepare you for the detox, so you don't have this feeling. But the point is, when we're doing all these screenings, we want to understand the impact of lifestyle on you. So if we prepare you, we get the results of the preparation as opposed to coming and get the real data.
Right. Yes, that's a good point. You want to see what they actually are doing, not how they
Exactly. So if
prepared
you
it.
want to extend the week at home, we have a cookbook. We can give you information. You have
Mhm.
170 recipes. You can carry on yourself after if you do, but we try not to do. And we are very, very careful with the way we process the food. Obviously, food is an emotional experience. So the way we serve it, where we serve it, from the place we use, the presentation on the plate, the aroma that comes from the food, all these play a very, very big role in what you're doing. Because remember, you are going through an emotional experience. You are going an experience, as I said before, with stressing the body. So when it
Mm.
comes the time to eat, is your reward for the day. So obviously this reward, it needs to be in a presentable, tasty, beautiful colors. Very, very important.
So that's the pillar 2,
That's the
and
pillar. We
you
have the
put a lot
hydro.
of effort into that. What is pillar 3?
Pillar 3 is we have the hydrotherapy, we call it.
Mhm.
Hydroaromatherapy, which is a very, very powerful treatment, the way we do it. So you are immersed into a bathtub with essential oils. So according to your typology, based on traditional Chinese medicine, we select essential oils. But the key here is the bathtub and the temperature of the water. This is more powerful than sauna in terms of elevating internal temperatures, core temperatures in the
Because the
body.
water's quite hot?
The water is very hot. So initially we start at body temperature, core temperature 37. We go up to 40 degrees.
Mm.
And for everybody, we need to make sure here that, of course, you accept essential oils. There are no allergies. And the whole process of the hydrotherapy in the bathtub, improves blood circulation, lymphatic drainage. You release a lot of nitric oxide, so all the piping system of the body opens up, and there is better communication of molecules between cells. And your temperature, core temperature, goes up. Then this treatment is followed by application of mud. Again, we personalize the
Mm.
mud, and you sweat a lot. There's a lot of wrapping. So we have measured temperatures with core temperatures with capsules, and we reach temperatures for most people exceeding 39.3 degrees. It's
Mhm.
very high
40
temperature.
degrees Celsius is 104 Fahrenheit for
I don't know
Americans
whether it's
listening.
Fahrenheit. So the whole idea is to activate with this heat some proteins in your cells called proteins, which help the cleaning mechanism, the recycling mechanism called autophagy. Proteins, they do this. So that's the whole idea of doing the hydrotherapy, in addition to all the other benefits you get on the cardiovascular system. Your skin becomes velvety, bacteria in your skin change. You know, you put all these
Hmm.
beautiful muds and all these beautiful ingredients and a lot of algae. But from a physiological perspective, the increase in temperature is key. So
So and everyone has a bath. It's like part of the program.
every single day you do this. It's very,
Do you
very,
have one a day or do you have more than one?
you have one a day. You have the
Uh-huh.
bath mud, and then this finishes with a jet at very high pressure. This gives you sort of a revigorating effect. And you will always finish on cold, because when you finish on cold, you maintain the heat in the body for longer.
Really?
Yes.
Because
So
your body's trying to keep warm? Is that what happens?
exactly, yes. Because by doing that, your temperature, you know, all it goes to the core, and that's very, very important. So this is very, very beneficial, and you do this every day together with the diet. So these are two stressors which are very, very powerful. Then
They work together.
they work together. Then you meet your traditional Chinese medicine expert therapist. We call them energetic therapists, where they evaluate the body based on traditional Chinese medicine principles, and they apply treatments to rebalance energy and at the same time to help you restore restoration. You know, then we do this with stimulating the vagus nerve. And you meet them twice during your program, and they communicate to your massage therapist, because, you know, our massage is based on physical body, also on energetic body. You know,
Hmm.
so they're massaging meridians with cupping, essential oils. And this is also very, very powerful. So as days go by, you know, by day 4, 5, you feel sudden immense energy coming into your body as a result of this cleaning process that we call
So you're
detox.
evaluated by the TCM doctor, and then
Correct.
they also do treatments to you that are from TCM?
They do treatments to you. Yes, they do treatments. We use a lot extensively needles, acupuncture. So they're trying to sort of create this balance into your body. Then at the end of your program, you meet your nutritionist to give you a plan, discuss with you, and also your doctor who has collected all your data. If you're a repeater, also all the data over time, and then provide you information for the next steps, what you need to do when you leave the facility.
So that fifth pillar of energy body work, everyone gets that as well. So every day you have the diet, the bath with the muds, you've met with your Chinese doctor and you have
Correct.
treatments and the Chinese doctors communicate to the massage team and body team what you need.
Yes. So we call it energetic massage. It's a very special technique that helps you. Of course, to your massage, you can add also all kind of massages, from lymphatic drainage, abdominal massage, all these kind of other things. These come as extra. But the technique on the energetic massage is the one we do. So we work a lot on meridians, and there's a lot of cupping work there.
Then guests can decide on their own to add other treatments like facials or other
Absolutely,
therapies.
yes, absolutely, yes. And then to this journey, because it's a journey, we add technology where we think is appropriate. So how, for example, we can stimulate mitochondria, how we use hypoxia. As I said to you, we have breathing devices where intermittently we deliver low and high concentrations of oxygen. We have apps where they can help you restore, reduce anxiety. We have a lot of IVs, all kind of things. We have ozonotherapies. Um, we have anti-gravity treadmills, so you
Mm.
can actually run at very high speeds without the burden of carrying your body. And this metabolically produces a lot of benefits. Um, we have a fantastic gym, a beautiful swimming pool, 22 meters. There's a lot of red light therapy. Everything you imagine
Hmm.
is here. But how cleverly you do things. So, what time are you doing your cryotherapy? What time and when are you doing your light therapy? When are you using the exercise? So, for example, if you have somebody who has problems with circadian rhythmicity and sleep, we modify their plan first thing to see in the morning light, which gives information to your internal clock, wake up. Then we're trying to build a lot of adenosine into the body. So we apply a cryo, maybe after we do exercise, or they will go up to the mountain for a little hike. And then they will do, as the light gets dark, we will do other treatments. So it's everything needs to be done in a way that will help the individual to benefit the most. So it requires a lot of planning on this. And we achieve this through a lot of training. So we're trying to take at the end the medical science and deliver to the guest as an experience. And this is where is the differentiator between us and everybody else, which is just putting treatments, filling up time. So it's a protocol. And this is why we call it Chenot Method, because it's a methodology of doing things.
Dr. Gaitanos, I believe when I was visiting, you showed me a room that was built around sleep, and it was specially equipped for people having trouble sleeping. Could you describe that to us?
So we have 4 very specialized rooms where the acoustics in these rooms are different. So when you speak, there is no reflection of sound, it's absorbing the sound. This creates 2 things. There's no echo in the room, and is dampening noise coming from outside. And this is very beneficial because when you sleep in the night, your ears are still on. So this is one function of the room. So there's no reflection of sound in the room. The second thing is that the room is being, so we use materials to absorb the sound. And in the room, there is special lighting. So when you come to relax, we're using in neuroscience here. So when you come to relax, when you want to use an alarm or you just want to fall asleep, there is light and sound delivered in sort of, how can I say, in a special way to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So let's put a simple example. I want to wake up in the morning. So what happens is I set up my alarm. There's a screen on your on the wall. You put the time you want to wake up, and that time suddenly the sun rises in your room, and you want to be in a forest with birds. So these are sounds which have been recorded, especially from real forests. It's very, very nice. And you wake up in a fantastic environment. Or you want to come and relax, or you want to sleep. You listen to frequencies, 4 to 5 hertz, which help you to fall asleep slowly, slowly, and keep asleep all night. Of course, the room is cooled down in the evening, so we keep this kind of sleep hygiene. We have special linen. The linen has minerals inside, so the minerals pick up your body heat and deliver it back to you as infrared technology. So basically, you're recycling your own energy. We've done studies. I have studies also with digital infrared cameras, how it improves the microcirculation, and this is really, really powerful. What else do we have in the room? We have also pajamas, which made from sustainable materials. I think is eucalyptus. So we work with the company, and this keeps you cool during the night. So we have all these little things, and all together, I need to study this in a way, like we do everything in Chenot. So we're going to have a study on this, but we have a very good testimonials of people experiencing better sleep. So they wake up more refreshed in the morning. They say to us they sleep better. Is the program and the room is not really to fix sleep issues for people primarily that have insomnia, they cannot sleep well, but it helps you to fine tune, your circadian rhythm. So we've designed a program called Sleep Cycles, and the whole idea of it is to help you restore, recover, put energy back into the system, and sleep becomes part of the program. So it requires very careful planning what you do during the day, because every person has different chronotype. Some people wake up very early, some people wake up later. So how you plan the day is very, very important.
Well, it sounds delightful to have a room like that to sleep in. I love being able to choose the sound that you wake up to. That's a very nice touch. And I would imagine that people are already tired. I mean, going through this program, even if you don't leave the building, is probably stressful on the body. And that's the point. Let's talk about the idea of forced discomfort and the physiological effect on the body that makes you tired but helps you to
Yeah.
improve your vitality index.
So the idea is, and this has been shown from science, you need to keep your genes on their toes. Okay, that's what you need to do. So creating controlled stress, controlled in intermittent doses, intermittently. So you give the dose you need to give. It doesn't have to be chronic, but for short periods of time. The body is defending, says, "Why are you doing this to me?" So by doing that, the body is recalibrating. So you're creating an environment of stress, adversity, you know, and the body is responding to this biologically. Your biology responds to this, and you are repairing, you are recovering, you are re-energized, and this is really beautiful. It's not just go and hamper and just relax, do
Mhm.
nothing. It's an active way of recovering yourself, resetting yourself, you're recalibrating your battery.
Let me ask you about inflammation. I mean, this sounds like you're inciting an inflammatory response in the body,
Yeah.
but you want that.
Yeah, exercise does this, for example, to you. It creates a pro-inflammatory response. So if you measure a certain expression of genes, you can see a lot of inflammatory genes being activated. But this is a response for you to get better, to get stronger.
Mm.
And exactly that's what we actually do here. So we need to have short periods of inflammation. It makes you stronger. And you
Did
know
you
that.
learn that when you worked with athletes? Like you have so much experience with performance. Is that what influenced this approach to longevity medicine?
Yes, I think exercise has played a very big role in the way I think. The most well documented area in medicine is exercise. It is the only thing that we know it works. For food, I know there is a lot of things happening, but let me tell you something very simple. Will you accept that we are 8 billion people on this planet? There are 8 billion diets.
Mm.
And this is because everybody has a completely different gut. So we know general things. Yes, increase the fiber in your food. Don't eat too many sugars. Avoid processed food. So these are sort of big general things we need to take care of. But exactly specific what to prescribe, how much, and what works for you, what doesn't, we're not really sure because you get 3 people eating exactly the same food. They have 3 different reactions. But when you do exercise and you put 3 people to run, they will all improve their VO2 max. So, and this is something very interesting because I want to redefine the doctor of the future. Because the whole idea of the doctor of the future is to be able to prescribe exactly the dose in order for you to build resilience, to build
Hmm.
adapt capacity. So nowadays, I see the doctors being traditional suddenly being transformed and renaming themselves to longevity. I mean, this is the word of longevity. I'm out of it, but there's a lot of hype. And
Hmm.
so we need to learn how to create health, how to create adaptive capacity over time. And we're still far from it. We're still doing measures, biological aging, wearables, and all these things. I think technology is there to help us, but we shouldn't be living life on numbers. We are not a lab test. Okay, we are
Okay. Makes sense.
everything, joy, happiness, fulfillment. I think this should be our criteria.
So the program, very prescribed, very effective. I would imagine that the first few days are probably a little tough for
Yes, they are
a
tough.
first-time guest for
Well,
sure.
creating stress of the body, in a way which
Mhm.
is you go out of your everyday routine. So yes, the body responds to this.
It responds in a positive way. I mean, would you
Responds a
say
lot.
by the third or fourth day, people are
Yes,
sort of
because
settling into the routine?
you are retraining your metabolism. Inflammation is
Mhm.
reduced, energy production is recovered, and the brain still remains sharp. all these things. I mean, we have a lot of evidence here. We're talking about thousands of people coming. We have published a lot of information up out there to search and find. So yeah, I mean, this works, and we don't know that from Chenot. We know that from religion, cultures who practice calorie restriction and fasting. We know that it works.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a new thing. Here we just provide it in a more structured way than outside. But many times people say to me, why you come to Chenot? So expensive and this and that. I mean, obviously, this is a setup which is a little bit more holistic, but you can democratize everything we do. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you go home, you can fast, you can exercise, there's so many things you can do in your everyday life, but we don't. And again, because we're always focused on performance, we should be focusing on recovery, because recovery is a time where you build health, where you build longevity, where you build wellness.
Do you get guests there, Dr. Gaitanos, who want to work, who like bring their laptop and they're trying to run their
Yes,
companies while they go through
yes.
this? I mean, is that difficult for them?
We have people, yes, we have people, and we try to disconnect them. It's not easy. We understand they're busy people, so we have adapted. We don't bother him. One thing we have tried successfully, and we have done successfully, is in the area where everything happens, or area where are common, we do not allow the use of the phone.
Mm,
So this has been an achievement, I'll say.
I'd say.
Such in the beginning, when we opened Chenot Las Vegas, we have switched off the antenna of
Oh, goodness.
of
That's
of
effective.
of the internet. My God, we go crazy. I mean, everybody was complaining. It's unbelievable. You cannot disconnect from this for
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. It's crazy. And then we turn it on again, but we said, listen, you cannot use it. You cannot talk. If you want to text message or watch your social, it's fine. It's very sad.
In a way, it's really amazing to me as you go through the world that you just don't see anyone that doesn't have their face in their device, and it's really not a good future, that if we're going to spend it looking down at our phones the whole time. Let's talk about the future. Preventative health probably expanding over the next decade, bioenergetic medicine. I know you don't love the longevity word, but what do you see as the future 10 years of how people are going to be seeking to hit that vitality index number?
I don't know. Look, I mean, I see everybody looking for perfection. I see everybody looking for optimization. To me, it creates anxiety. I think what I would like to see is I would like to see people give meaning to the time they have.
Mhm.
So, for example, food. Okay, I see food. Okay, you need get it. I mean, you get information from food. Okay, molecules. But to me, it's more important the social aspect of it. Eat with your friends.
Mhm.
Eat with your family. Engage into. It's a time where everybody can be around the table, like old times. And I value this more than actually looking at my Apple Watch and see whether I slept well or not. Because at the end of the day, you haven't slept well. What can you do about it?
Nothing, it's over.
Well, okay, so you keep looking at numbers, which to me at the end, unless you have a guidance. So if I have a doctor who is going to be my coach, okay, and inform me, so how I can plan my day, how I can do things, and I'm prepared to make change, I think we will see benefit. Of course, from the medical side, you know, we will be able to treat. AI will help us. We will treat diseases easier. Will be better communication, exchange of information between professionals. All these things is very, very helpful. But again, my focus is not on treating disease of old age, because this is not longevity. This is geriatrics. Okay? Longevity is all about creating health, and this starts from parents.
Your genetics.
Exactly. This is where you start. So when you are young, you are a pathfinder. You need your parents to guide you into good habits. Then you reach an age after development, you're a founder. This is the time where you need to build your inner capacity, meaning a lot of reserve, which you can use it later in life. You know, then when you reach 40 to 60, we know biologically there are two sharp drops between these two ages in our biology systems. So this is the time when you need to start kind of optimizing, you know, and after 60, you start defending. What you're defending? You're defending the drop in functionality, because you need to keep functionality, because you want to age gracefully with dignity, and you want to be independent. Because if you're not independent
Mm.
and you spend the rest of your time on a bed, is not worth living in my view. So you want to
No.
100, 80, 90, 100, and you want to be functional, be able to do things physically and mentally. So independence at the end of the day is what we're looking for. And I think that's important. And this you can do, in your everyday life, you know, uh, the way you live life is very, very important.
Agreed. I mean, you have a tremendous effect on someone in 7 to 9 days at a Chenot location, but then they have another 50 weeks without you, and
Correct.
they
Correct.
cannot go
Yes,
back to their old habits, right?
exactly.
You can't fix it.
I agree with you, and that's why I said we are a pit stop in your life. Like I gave the
Mhm.
example of a car in the garage. So this is what you're coming, because you're coming to do your maintenance work, which is important, okay, to do. But at the same time, you can also do every day to protect your biology by living a lifestyle which is compatible with your genetics. So you
So
need
I
to.
have a question for you. You wear an Apple Watch, you look at markers. What's the one biomarker that consumers should pay attention to on their wearable device?
I don't know to. I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Is it how you sleep? How reliable are these measurements? I mean, here we
Mhm.
measure sleep, but we use medical devices to understand the sleep architecture. I think sleep architecture is very, very important. Every night we are doing these cycles of
Mm.
deep sleep, lighter sleep, deep sleep, lighter sleep. And I think this architecture is very, very important, because it's a time when you're regenerating, you're recovering,
Mhm.
is a time where your memory is consolidated, is a time where you clean your brain, is a brain journey. I think sleep would be to me a very big priority in my wearable.
Mhm.
Now, do I measure reliably? uh, I don't know.
Right. No, you're always I look at it. I used to look at it much more. I
Yeah.
look at it once or twice a week, but I mean, I
But
know
you
how
can
I
you
feel.
can see the trend, you can see. I
Mhm.
mean, even if you have error, there will be systematic, so you can actually see the trend. To me, the criterion is when you wake up in the morning, do I feel refreshed? That's the question I ask myself. If I feel
Mhm.
refreshed, ready to go, I think I slept well. So I
Mhm.
don't use wearables anymore.
Yeah, you don't need the number to tell you.
No.
Dr. Gaitanos, you've been in physiology and human performance for many decades. Is there something you could say has surprised you the most about human bodies in
Yeah.
this
And
time?
because I've worked with a lot of athletes, and also with a lot of normal people who has life has been transformed either one way towards a good direction or a bad direction, I think I understood that health is something trainable. You train your health. This is, and the body, it can adapt to all kind of challenges. Now, for every person, there is what I call an ideal path. An ideal is what you can actually maintain over time. So consistency of doing things is by far more important than
Mm.
intensity. This is what I've learned. So being consistent, you achieve a lot of things. And that's the best way to train your body and your mind, to train your health, to build adaptive capacity, to build intrinsic capacity, over the trajectory of a lifespan. And I think that is very, very important.
Be
That's what I've learned.
consistent, but be consistent with good habits, right? I mean, you've got to do the right things and
Absolutely.
do them over time.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is this kind of dynamic capacity within the body, and you can improve your functional performance, physical, emotional, mental.
I have one last question for you, Dr. Gaitanos. Tell us what your morning routine is, because I know that you're very consistent with yourself too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying things we know I enjoy doing. So first thing in the morning, I wake up, I go on my bike. So I do in my house, I have a bike at home, a static bike. So I do a little bit of cardio work in the morning and some stretching routine. So I try to do this almost daily. In the morning works well for me. And also stretching my muscles. And then I have a coffee and breakfast. Not all the times, depends. Then I go to the office, I do my work, and in the afternoon, I also visit the gym and I'm trying to do my strength exercises. I think my habit is going to the gym or going on the bike. It doesn't matter what I do and how much, but I am consistent in doing something. And this is how I do. So that's important. In the evening, I try not to fight my biology. When I feel tired, around 10:30, 11 o'clock, I go to bed and I wake up consistently every morning, same time, weekends or not.
Hmm.
I'm trying to expose myself with a lot of light in the morning. I live in Switzerland. 6:30 in the morning is dark. So I switch on lights in the house. And my job is nice, challenging because I meet a lot of people. I have a lot of stimulating discussions. So, and I have a purpose, to evolve the Chenot Method. It's my passion, the work I do. And so it works for me. I'm 66 now and I keep going.
Well, I can say that you are a very good-looking specimen of a 66-year-old, having
Thank you.
seen you in action. So your method obviously works, and you're a great model for all the people that you're helping. How many people work at Vegas, for example, at that one
200,
location?
210 to 115. I cannot tell you the exact number. Is around
Hmm.
between 210 to 15.
Well, I'm sure you're very inspirational for all of them. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your method with us. It sounds very effective, and it must be if it's been around for so long. So great, great information. Dr. George Gaitanos, Chief Scientific Officer from Chenot. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Nice, always nice talking to you.
You
Thank you.
too.